So this next little portion is going to show us how we can supplant one of the panels of the wall with another wall system, not just a door or a piece of glass, but we can actually use the panels and use them as a way to design walls. And so what I'm going to do here first is I'm going to create a new curtain grid 1 foot away from that edge. And so remember, you've got to hover over one of the horizontal lines in order to get a vertical curtain grid. And I'm going to go ahead and put one right here. I want it to make sure it's 1 foot away from that. Whoops. 1 foot away from that column. So I'm going to move that. I select it, and I'm going to move that little dot over, and it's 1 foot away over here. And that's going to create another curtain grid right on this side. Once I've done that, I can hover over these 3 vertical ones is what I want to get rid of. Excuse me, these 3 horizontal ones is what I want to get rid of, because I want to create a single panel over that entire area around the column. Okay, so that I've got one panel. Right now there's 1, 2 panels. There's one below. I can grab it here. There's one below, and then there's a second one up above. And I want to combine those into one piece and not have a mullion at the top or bottom. So I'm going to select the mullion and delete it. And then I'm going to select the mullion at the bottom. You notice it's not, I got to get it down here at the bottom, and then I'm going to select the other mullion up here at the top. This is, oops, not the whole system. This is a good example of why orthographic drawings are still easier to work in. It's easier to select them down here than it is to pick them out of the 3D view, because things get obscured here and I can see what I'm looking for. The next thing I want to do is I want to get rid of that portion of the grid line. I only want the grid line to stop right here and then start again right here. And so I'm going to hover and tab until I get just that grid line, and then I'm going to say, I got to select it, come here, and then I'm going to say add remove segments, and I'm going to click on that little segment, and it's going to go away. And so we can see the grid line still shows up as a dashed continuous line, but that segment of the grid line is now missing. That means that this panel right here, I've got to hover, tab, I can select that one panel, and I can turn that one panel into a different kind of wall. They want us to use a generic 12-inch wall. And we can see now up here in 3D, and we can see down here that there's a panel there. And now this is what's really cool. Check out what happened on level 1. If I go to my entrance plan, might be the easiest way to look at this. I can see that it is now merging with my column, right? So it all shows up as one piece. In fact, I can go so far as to select that column, and I can say join, and I can join these 2 pieces, I think. Let's see. I didn't like to do it. Never mind. We cannot join those 2 pieces. But we can see that it fits up there real nicely with these 2. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that to all the way across this system, and you guys can do the same. Alright, so I have gone ahead and put in those same details all the way across this whole system. You can see there's I missed one. Let's go ahead and do that one now. Tab, 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 there we go. And I'm going to make this one a 12-inch wall as well. This model leaves things to be desired. It gets a little bit weird. For example, here at that header, we've got an extra mullion up here I need to get rid of. A couple little things I need to take care of. Let's go ahead and delete that. Delete this one as well, if I can get it. Oh, I don't want to delete that one. I want to delete this one here. Delete that one. You can see it fills in the panel. We'll go ahead and do the same thing here. Delete this one, and then I can see there's one sticking out the top. That gets a little bit strange. Delete that one. Let's see what else we got. There's some sort of strange things going on here with the ceiling. I'm not going to get too worried about it, but I'm going to go ahead and get this one worked out here like that. Get this one out of here like that. Oops. Get this one out of here like that. And then I guess I probably have some down here at the bottom to get rid of. Yeah, see they're down here at the bottom. This again, it's easier probably to get them in this view. So I'm going to come in here. Well, I say that. There we go. And we can come across the wall and get this one down here out of the bottom corner. that. And let's go ahead and get this one out. This one. It wants to select everything except the piece I want. I have to hit tab a bunch of times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a whole bunch of times to get that out of there. Okay. So that gives us those. There are some other mullions that would need to be involved in here. Obviously, we have one vertical here, but we don't have one vertical here. So I've created some new grid lines. I'll need to go ahead and select this system and make sure that I've got a mullion at each grid line. So let's go back to architecture, go back to mullions, and I'm going to say all grid lines on this whole system. See if they'll add those in for us. Yeah, there we go. So now we can put them back in at the bottom. I'm going to say add grid line and just draw them in individually. It's going to be easier. And come over here and get those 4 also. Grid line. Having a little tricky time getting a hold of those things. Yes, right there. There we go. Right there. See, now I'm stuck with this 3D kind of getting in my way, so I got to rotate it. There we go. Get this one right here, and then this one right here. Okay, now I've got them all the different places I need. I can see them in here pretty clearly. Okay, finally, what we're going to show here is that we can also put a storefront panel or a glazing system and let it serve as one of the panels of the glazing system. So the glazing system can host panels, and the panels can be walls, they can be these door units, or they can also be additional glazing systems. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these down here. I'm going to go ahead and get these panels, that one, and I'm going to go ahead and tab over this one. I can actually do this. I can say select panels along the horizontal grid, and I get all of them, but I really don't want to use all of them, so I really just want to get that one. Tab, 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 control, click, tab, 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 control, click, and then tab, 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 control, click. And all of those actually want to be a storefront system. So here's the storefront. Watch what happens. They get divided up because the storefront system actually has pre-noted issues about pre-noted parameters about how often the maximum spacing is and what the fixed height is and all these kinds of things. So it actually draws in the grid for us as we go.